What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are your hosts, the Distorted Theorists, and if you've seen any of the other videos, we're still on.
No, this one will be first. This one's dropping.
This is the first
right
one?
away.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we talk about a field trip and some other ones. So stay tuned for that, Joe.
Well, we are live here on location in Cineplex at St. John's, Newfoundland, to see, well, Peter, a movie that we have been following. If you've seen any of our trailer reactions, Predator, Badlands, and we're here with our spoiler review, right? You said you want to do some little action, not completely spoiler, but maybe sprinkled
free,
in there.
We'll announce a spoiler.
But before we do, as always, if you want to support the channel, we do appreciate if you would just take 1 second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Peter, you are the Weyland-Yutani guru.
You couldn't think of anything.
No, the guru. You know, we've been talking about this movie for quite some time. I love the Predator movies, but I take them for a little face value. But you dive a little deeper in the alien universe, so lead us off.
You've seen the Predator movies that involve like the classic gore. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I started with obviously Predator with Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And
I think my first one was actually Danny Glover, number 2.
Probably, and that one was more gory because that was as dark as the first one was. The second one took a darker turn because it was in the.
Was it like? I want to say like New York, yeah, something like that.
LA,
yeah.
And during the riots and everything like that, and people are getting skinned and all that stuff too. They were still getting skinned in the first one, but this one was a little bit. So, anyways, then Predator took a hiatus. Then we had the AVP, which the first one was pretty good. Yeah. Second one, I don't think they made a second one.
They did. I was okay with it.
I don't think.
But they've now we have timelines now.
Then
we have lore.
We have Predators, and then we have the Predator, and now we are back in the Dan Trachtenberg world, of which we have seen Prey, Killer of Killers.
That was so good.
You gotta watch Killer of Killers. You gotta watch that. And Badlands was great.
But listen, let's touch. I think we should lead off right there. Predator, Badlands. This planet is everything's a death trap. Buddy was drinking water and I thought he might die. I don't know.
We are following Deck, a runt predator who is apparently bringing shame to his clan.
And they establish that so well too.
They do, and we're not going to get into spoilers for that. Yeah. But they basically, in order for him to get his cloak and to become Deck of the Yautja, he's got to make the kill. So of course he's being offered several different kills that are, you know, feasible, but then he's offered the one that the thing that cannot be killed. To which he says, "Well, yeah,
I'll pick that one."
Yep, and that starts off his adventure on the planet Jenna, of which everything, it's called the Death Planet, or the Planet of Death. Everything tries to kill.
But again, they established that very well. Again, this is where some of the spoilers may sprinkle here. Immediately
meets Thea.
No, immediately he's trying to be killed up by some vine branches things. Then he's walking through rivers, things are trying to kill him. He's walking through a field, things are exploding and trying to poison him. He's trying to run into what looks to be regular grass. It's grass. Then we meet Thea, which...
We met Thea before the Razor Glass.
I know, but I'm talking about right now, we meet Thea. We're entering Thea,
who has been in the trailers. Elle Fanning plays her. She is a half of a Weyland-Yutani synth. And we get to know some more synths, not only from the Alien universe, but as well from Alien Earth.
That dude must have got paid so much money because the same actor was every synth, I won't say when, but in the movie.
Something tells me he wasn't. I don't think Elle Fanning got paid twice.
Well, he was everywhere. But she really brings in the comedy because, you know, you go into this Predator movie and I seen it a little bit in the trailer. We've seen it a little bit in the trailers, like a couple of jokes, but I don't think you really know until you get in there how funny this movie actually is, and it's okay, you accept it.
This is the buddy cop movie that I was not expecting to see. It was very lighthearted while still bringing that intense action and gore and blood, and you're not really seeing it because the people that are in it aren't people.
Well, and you know what?
I think that's how they got away with it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that myself. Like as I was watching, I was like, "There's a lot of slicing and dicing going on, but there's no red blood.
Nope. It's all milk."
I'm wondering if that was the way they got around the rating a little bit. You know.
And along with the humor, something that really pulled me in, because they had a lot of establishing like panoramic shots that were great, and obviously a good portion of these locations are real, but I don't know where they are because they've got like CGI elements
Obviously,
added into it.
Planets and
but
stuff
the
in the background.
music that they've introduced into it is something very similar to what I've heard in Dune, like this kind of big guttural.
Yeah,
and it's really cool.
I found the whole movie, including and maybe the music helped to it a lot. Was it was super immersive, like waterfalls, grass blade, like I said, that glass and stuff, just like that. Yeah, like it was everything about it was just making you feel like you were. If he's creeping, you're creeping. If there's a monster coming behind him, you were waiting to like get scared from behind type thing. But I also loved about, when we see a predator on screen, it's usually the villain or whatever. But I loved how they broke this character down. Very vulnerable is the word I want to use. Is like you were kind of rooting for this guy to get the kill that he needed to get and get his comeuppance with some family. I won't go any further than that, but
he's human-sized. That's the other thing too, because predators are like
he is runtish or whatever,
7, 8, 9 feet tall. So instead of this powerhouse that we're used to seeing, that's lifting people off the ground and just like ripping people's spines out and skulls and all that stuff, we're seeing much more of a grounded action from a real person. There's a person inside this suit.
Well, it's funny because even speaking of Prey, for those who have seen it, another thing I want to highlight on this Predator movie that I enjoyed was that when we see a Predator, usually he's decked out with armor, utilities, the cannon or whatever.
This is Metroid Zero Mission.
Yeah, he's broken down, but what I also love is in true Predator fashion, living off the land, living off the Badlands, he learns from his mistakes and what he's seen trying to kill him, and he weaponizes it. He captures a bug that explodes or a poisonous needle that shoots out or whatever. He materializes it, he uses it to weaponize against his prey. I thought that was really cool.
And something else that we get to see that I won't go into too great of a detail with is that because this movie is actually based around a predator, a yautja, is now we get to see a little bit of it's not the right term, but like the humanity of them too, because we get to see the inner workings of a clan and we get to see the growth of a character, which you normally just see behind the sick mask and the dreads and the friggin' fish.
Well, you just see death, basically. This gave us exposition. So I really enjoyed that.
And it was something that I didn't really have a part in this where I was like, and then this. Like there were a couple of moments. Well, you even pointed one out to me. I was like, why is such and such happening? And it was because remember? And I was like, oh yeah, all right, that makes sense. And it wasn't clear when that moment happened at whenever it was that would lead into it would full on the result. And usually not to toot my horn, I'm pretty good at finding that stuff out. That's why I've been watching the Scream movies for the last week, and it's been frustrating as hell because they follow a formula that is frustrating.
And you know what? As a review as well, I'm trying to think of, and in the movie I was even trying to, you try to hang on to what negatives are we seeing in this movie. The only thing that I can come up with off the top of my head that that's kind of standing out is, he goes to this planet to hunt a creature. The creature, I felt there was a little bit given away in the trailer that probably could have been kept a little closer to the chest. Yeah. I felt like there was this movie, the one thing it was missing was there was no surprise that I was waiting for.
But at the same time, that's not the movie's fault.
No, probably not.
That is the marketing team's fault.
But the only other thing as well is the payoff at the very end, I felt was a little rushed. Again, I don't want to spoiler that, but there's the final thing. Yeah, it was like, I thought there was going to be a bit more of a cinematic to it, if that makes sense. I don't know about you. What did you find yourself catching any negatives?
The ending of it did, like the big climactic end was worth it in my opinion, but I just felt that it was just kind of like event,
Yeah, exactly.
Credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. I would have liked a little bit more, but again, it's hard to have that much when your main character speaks like 6 words at a time.
And I mean, although the Predator does get more clever, I'll say, because he doesn't really get much more stronger in the film. He just gets more what I would call clever. He gets a bit more tactical, if you will.
He experiences growth.
But I felt like and I know it's a movie, so it's hard to like span it over a few months or anything. But I felt like it almost could have used if he was on that planet for
a week,
or more longer than just a day of what a movie seemed like a day. Because then the payoff of that ending would have been a bit more like, I left as a runt, I'm back now as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I wonder why they chose to go that route.
Timing. It's probably this movie could have been cut at 2.5 hours, and there was just a lot that was left on the cutting room floor. And another thing that I want to highlight because it is kind of shown a bit in the trailers, the dual role of Elle Fanning. I won't go into the other
I wasn't aware of that, so I don't know if you were.
I kind of was, because I recognized the hair.
Surprise.
I recognized the hair at one point. I was like, wait a minute, why is it different? And then once we see Thea initially, I'm like, wait, that's not the hair that I saw in the trailer. And then I left it at that.
Sure.
So I'm not going to go, but she does well in her roles. And I think this is the first time that I've ever seen Elle Fanning really in something
that I'm aware of as well.
Death Stranding 2, but I haven't gotten to her part yet. So all I know
what is your problem? Well, Peter,
I'm working on it. All I know is that Hideo Kojima just loves feet.
We are here, as we said, in Cineplex in St. John's, Newfoundland. We've seen it in IMAX. Where do you sit on the IMAX? Is it worth going to see? Do you think people could get away with the regular 3D?
I mean, if you've got time, go see it in IMAX. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. This isn't one of those ones that it works well in IMAX, but it's just going to work just as well on.
I felt like the phase sabers, and if you want to call it that, or lack of a better term.
Hot sword?
Yeah, they hit a bit better with that IMAX sound, but I'm sure it would be enjoyable just as well in regular. But Peter, towards the end of our review here, as always, as you know, we love to give our movies a little rating. What would you say Predator Badlands falls on the great cinematic scale of 2025 for you?
8.5.
8.5. And what would be the exact reason why you're giving it that high?
Just because it's... Like with the shortcomings, the rushed, I can't even say it's the rushed third act, but the rushed finale of it. And I like you said, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the Predator learning. And the development of the villain that is in this, it's just established right off the hop, like bad. Why?
Yeah, for sure. I think they did lean on a little bit that you're supposed to assume that anything Weyland-Yutani related is scheming, I guess, if that's... so I get that as well.
So is Thea.
No, exactly. And I don't know if her story's over either, but
I don't think anyone's story's
for myself,
over.
I'm kind of right in line. I'm going to stick at a hard 8, I do believe. The only thing that saved it a little bit, it might even went a little bit like 7.8, but the ending, which there is no spoiler, but there is a small little... After the title teaser, I think reeled it back to an 8 for me because it gave me hope that someone has faith in this movie, and I feel like there is more I want to see from Deck, and I just feel like someone has confidence in this franchise now, and they are running with it. So I think that just made me a little more excited that there's going to be some future stuff in the Predator world, and we're still hoping for that Predator versus Alien 3, I guess,
or the first one.
Reboot time.
The requel.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our out of the theater reaction and review and breakdown for Predator Badlands. As always, if you want to support the channel, we do appreciate if you would just take 1 second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you've seen the movie, let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? And inform us if we missed anything that maybe we didn't cover in this review. And are you excited for the future?
You give them 5 things to do for
homework. You have 5 things to do for homework. If you don't get it done, we'll still love you anyway. And with that, I am the real Jussy.
I'm Peter Parkour of the Yautja. And like we always say right here,
keep it real.